Good evening, teacher and classmates. I'm Hugo and I'm going to record this video talking about what video games are. So first of all, I'm going to talk about what games are. Games, according to one video, it is supposed to have some rules in this world and also in the virtual world. Well, you have to understand that there are very different kinds of games. There are some games that help people to even to work, such as those surgery games, and there are also some more virtual games, as where what pilots use to drive, to travel, and to fly. And what's more is that, as I told you, there are lots of games. And also, we have to understand that there are some people, some scientists, some psychologists would mention that life is a game. And we have to understand this life is a game as that you can lose everything and you can reset it and you can start from zero. It is not this. It is said that life is a game because we have an objective and we have to follow this objective so we can get all our goals. Yes? So that's it. Also, talking about what video games are, the consequences and the benefits of what video games bring to our lives could be this for me. There are lots of benefits as well because with this, most of games come in different languages and you can practice them by repeating. Yes, there are many games. There are lots of games, video games. Talking about only video games, we have soccer games. We have also battle games, real battle games. We have also like animated games, and all of them have a different kind of English. So with this, you're going to acquire a higher vocabulary. Okay, so only playing video games, you're going to get to know more knowledge, and you're going to have more words in your vocabulary and more native words. You are going to have even some expressions that people use, that even Americans use. So that is why I consider that this is one of the most important advantages that games bring to our lives. Now, also talking about the disadvantages or consequences of this is that nowadays we can see everybody has gadgets, and with this, we're not interacting a lot with people. Okay, we do interact, but we interact in a virtual life. I say virtual because let's suppose that we are in a family and we're in a family reunion and we are celebrating something, and most of the family is going to be with their phones. Okay, and it's going to be really awkward, and this actually happens right now. And that is just really awkward to see that everybody's on the table and they are using their cell phones and they are not interacting with the person who is in front of them. And this is something really bad because we're having a lack of self-esteem, and we didn't have enough. How to say this would be kind of um, substantial instinct. So you can with this instinct you can get to interact with other people and you can just develop a normal conversation with them. We have we have got used to interact only by using our phones. Okay, so video games, this is the consequence of video games, that many people only love playing video games and they are kind of really nerds because they don't know how to interact with normal people, because they only love being in that kind of game, in that kind of world. It could be kind of a virtual world, and if you check those characters, the people, the players that they are in those worlds, they're going to be like really athletic and they're going to be like really um, popular people, and this is really weird. We have to understand that games are only for a short-term period, that you have to play in video games, and also you have to understand that life is better. Yes, real life. Real life games are much better. Yes, it was not only 10 years ago, but it was like 15 years ago that people and kids my age, we used to play in a better way, only soccer on the field, or basketball, or volleyball, or whatever, or going to to roller skates and going to parks. And it was really nice to go to those places with their parents. And right now we don't see that. Okay, so there is, as I was telling you, the lack of self-esteem. This is also because of this, because parents, they do not share time with their kids. That is why kids, they know how valuable they are, and they don't have enough values to love themselves as they are. Okay, so this is another consequences of video games and what technology is making to our kids, to our new generations. Okay, so as I was telling you previously, talking about the life is a game, we should keep living our lives as we have some rules that are already established and we have our very same objective. despite this objective is not very important in the real world, but this task is important for us when we're playing them. Yes, this is one of the part which was actually really tricky, but I got to understand this in one of the first videos. And this meant that despite there are also objectives in the video games, they are only going to be important in these video games, okay? These objectives. That means that these objectives in the games are not going to be real important in the real world, okay? So that's why, guys, we don't have to get confused between real life and virtual life, and we should enjoy this very same moment. That's it, teacher, and thank you very much.